Let's get physical, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch March the 10th until the 14th. Beyond the Ice Palace 2 looks to be finally releasing this week on Switch and PlayStation 5, at least in Europe and Japan. It seems like North America has to wait a little bit longer. It's made by Storybird Studios, who I quite like. They made Golden Force, which was a pretty solid action platformer. This is a sequel to a C64 game I'd never heard of, but that was never my scene back in the day. And yeah, it looks like a fairly badass Castlevania wannabe. It has RPG elements, and I am rather looking forward to it. I know the release has been pushed back a couple of times now, so hopefully the polish was worth it for a solid action time as you whip your way through hordes of demonic monsters. Who doesn't want to whip skeletons? And my executive producers, Ethan Blue, Precision Plague, and Josh Foote, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Dwerve is releasing on Switch and PlayStation 5 in North America this week, no sign of a European physical. This looks to be an interesting game that mixes tower defense combat with action-adventure exploration. Tower defense games are one of those genres that's not massively exciting, but it's super easy to get sucked into, maximizing efficiency, covering all angles. I can't say I've played many, but the ones I have played tend to be very addictive. And reviews for this game are on the positive side, although I'm not keen on the name. It sounds like an overly hippie dwarf. He probably wears sunglasses indoors and plays the bongos. Not my kind of guy. And my executive producers, Super Ben Julio and Jake Vav, have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want it or any of the retail games in this video, please consider purchasing via the links in the description and pinned comments. That massively helps me out and this series to keep producing physical content for you guys. VGP are a great company with cheap prices in Canadian Monopoly money and free worldwide shipping on orders over 80 Canadian bucks, which is less than 60 American dollars. Plus, each week, if you buy something, you are put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Jared M. Congratulations, Jared. You should get an email from VGP with your discount coupon in the coming days. Petit Island is in the red corner in this week's boxing match, fighting for the world title of Shovelware Island of the Week. You'll see what I mean in a minute. A simple but apparently charming game that does have decent enough reviews, but it's published by Sodesco, who I don't trust very much. An open world exploration adventure game that tries to suffocate you with coziness. You explore, take photos, unlock memories. It's probably going to be harmless, and maybe the shovelware title is a bit harsh, but it is releasing on Switch and PS5 in the same week as... In the blue corner, we have Sugardew Island. Man, this world title bout is about to be as tense as it's gonna get. Shovelware Island of the world. And I have to say, Sugardew is the favorite in my books. And remember folks, it's not really a title one wants. A chokingly cozy farming game that's unashamedly copying Story of Seasons art style. You can't sneak those cows past me, my friend. This is more of a farming game, more of a store management game, more of a shovelware game. It tries, but it's very hollow according to reviews, and you know how cutthroat those cozy game fans are. The more cute and wholesome the product is, the more the fan base are the ones who are likely to pull the lever at your execution. There's some psychology there that needs to be studied. More worthwhile of your time than playing this. Autobahn, Police Simulator 2, a quick mention to this since it's releasing in North America this week. This is already out in Europe because of course it is. Alright, the low print limited releases. Blood is Super Rare's latest game, and it's hard to be enamored with a game named after some London street urchin's greeting. I already feel like I'm gonna be mugged. Thankfully, the game is a bit more colourful than being stabbed for my packet of Skittles. This looks like it's right out of a Cartoon Network show in the 90s, and I say that as someone whose family was too poor to have Sky TV and didn't watch any of it. A bit of Dexter's Lab, a bit of Powerpuff Girls. It's a game that reviews say the presentation is what carrying it with simple gameplay, but hey, if you want to rumble, Super Rare will sell it to you on Thursday with only 3,000 copies available. And my executive producers, the Nemo 6, Instacritic, and my brand new executive Justin, PDC, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Bug Fables. I'm a bit late with this one since despite making a video about this very release, I actually forgot to include it in last Monday's video. Sorry, Bug Fables. But yeah, there's a new physical release of Bug Fables happening in Europe thanks to Red Art Games on Switch and PS4, and it will be complete on cart. All the DLC and updates will be on the cartridge. Now, the standard will be at retail, but the deluxe edition for both consoles is exclusive to redartgames.com. It's the same price as the standard edition, but comes with some extra goodies. If you want the full details, then you can watch the video I made about it. But just remember, any purchase from redartgames.com with the links down below, you can also get 10% off with my code Jordan10. And my executive producers, Issa, Punky Dooster, Adamantium, and Double Dave, Husway and Horworth, have chosen this as their pick of the week. It's the first Double Dave pick. Trouble Witches, final episode 1, Daughters of Amalgam. Speaking of missing one, this one seems to have slipped me by. I knew that Trouble Witches was going to get announced for a Western European physical, but the PR companies failed me on this one because it's up for pre-order right now, seemingly exclusive to ININ Games' website. When did this happen? No idea. I might be like half a year late with this and look very daft indeed. But yes, ININ Games have a special edition on their new web store with no sign of a retail release. This was only released in Japan previously, and the Western physical is due for May and includes the DLC. I'm assuming that means it'll be on the cartridge. Alright, let's jump into the imports. Remember, if you want to import any of these games, you can use the Play Asia links in the description, and if you do that, you can also get 5% off with my code Jordan2025. And as an aside, if you're new here, or maybe you're not the kind to normally do so, please do subscribe. The bigger this channel is, the more publishers will pay attention to physical media, and I do want to get to 30,000 subscribers before the end of the year if possible. It's going to be tight at the rate it's going now, but let's do it, guys, okay? Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? Familia myth, Fulland of Water and Light. That's its whole title, is releasing in Japan this week, and it does have English. It's the second game in the franchise to grace the Switch, and they've switched up the gameplay. Now as a side-scrolling action game. Kinda looks run-of-the-mill, but there are multiple playable characters, and also you get assists from other famous faces in the franchise. They seem to act as your special attacks. Could be fun, if maybe unremarkable, I don't know. There is a standard edition, as well as a collector's edition, which includes a short story, probably in Japanese, an art book, soundtracked CD, and tin badge. If I can get a review copy, I'll be sure to give it a go and make a review later this week. That's an if though. But my executive producers, Surfacing for Air, Wixit, they, D's Nuts, and God of Resin have chosen this as their pick of the week. Ghostpia Season 1 is a visual novel, a pretty good one from reviews I've seen, and the fact that it's just Season 1 shouldn't dissuade you from checking it out. Should still get a satisfying story with a really unique presentation, more like a picture book than a visual novel. It's been a long time in development, and this Japanese physical release will have English. And my executive producers Jennifer M. and Brent McLean have chosen this as their pick of the week. KAMITSUBAKI City Regenerate is a visual novel, a brand new one, so there are no opinions about its quality, but there are adventure elements with map movement. It's got a sci-fi story with, virtual world stuff going on, which isn't my usual kind of bag, but it's popular for a reason. Means you can pretty much do as you please with the plot and imagination. There's also some rhythm gameplay elements in here. I don't know how deep it is. VNs with gameplay stuff tends to be very shallow, but maybe that's a good thing. And this will have English, and it's coming in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, which includes a poster and other stuff that I forgot to write down in my script. But my executive producers, Robotech, G Bautista 100, Ishin, Kevin W, and Lewis K have chosen this as their pick of the week. Mika and the Witcher's Mountain is releasing this week in Japan, getting its retail release after the Kickstarter editions have been sent out to backers. Strange that this is only getting released in Japan. If you ever wanted Kiki's Delivery Service to get a video game adaptation, then this is it. Made by a small team on a very small budget. You do have to keep your expectations in check, but I bet it's quite simple and doesn't evolve much, but want to kick back to and relax. And my executive producers, Ghost Bune, Cartoon Soren, and Thorn Metaluna have chosen this as their pick of the week. Japan is also getting these Kaleidoscope games, which do not have English. Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight. Executive producer Super Ben Julio sent in this photo. Last week, he was one of the few who didn't choose Suikoden, and so he was curious about everyone's choice. That he went out and bought it, see what all the fuss is about. I really hope you enjoy it. Sake Dupe sent in this photo, getting in a nice few imports. Etrian Odyssey, the Korean version is $30 at Play Asia right now, but that sale is ending like, I think it's today. So if you want it for that price, don't hang around. Andrew R sent in this photo picking up Trouble Witches, and it was this photo that prompted me to check out if there were any updates about the Western release. And to my big surprise, pre-orders were open for it, so thank you, Andrew. Danielle O sent in this photo with Yuden Chronicle, which I have even more interest in playing now, at least through to the end now that I've been in the Suikoden mood. Executive producer Kevin W sent in this photo, getting in a couple of games from Red Out Games. I'm guessing from a sale when, Demon Gaze was ridiculously cheap. Jesse F sent in this photo, and it has Gal Guardians, perhaps in anticipation of the sequel coming very soon. Hopefully I get a review copy so I can make a video about it. Berry Gaming 24/7 sent in this photo with Tony Hawk's 1 and 2. I wonder if it's because of the recent announcement of 3 and 4. I'm sure a lot of people are excited about it despite the controversy around it. El Cubano Loco sent in this photo with the Neo Geo collections. This year is going really fast, but for some reason, April seems like it's taking forever to get here, with Volume 3 and 4, and hopefully 5 and 6, and then 7 and 8, and then I've got no money left. Executive producer Surfacing for Air sent in this photo, very happy to see as many Suikodens as possible. I don't get the ESRB rating though. I know it's 2 games, but surely they don't need the double rating. It doesn't make sense. Surely you should just have the highest one, because, if a 10-year-old rocks up to buy this and swears on his nan's life that he'll only play the E10 plus one, he still won't be able to buy it, right? ESRB, absolute morons, no offense. Okay, maybe some offense. Executive producer Justin PDC doing his part, a double Suikoden, and thankfully the PS5 version has survived the double ESRB, much better than the Switch one. Executive producer Lewis K sent in this photo picking up Exophobia on Switch, a cheap FPS that's also a Metroidvania according to many people, and also very good. Executive producer Dave Hallworth sent in this photo, getting in a nice haul from Play Asia. Red Colony is one of the more recent Play Asia exclusives to get a reprint, and one of the few that's not discounted. Theo sent in this photo, picking up, are you ready? Monu. Defeat monsters and gain strong weapons and armor. You may be defeated, but don't give up. Become stronger. I believe there will be a day the heroes defeat the Devil King. What a title! And probably the best thing about the game. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo picking up Panic in Sweetsland. An import exclusive, looks like a pretty decent action platform. I've not tried it myself, but the trailer looks okay. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo. I think Australia might be the way to go for Suikoden. I mean, look at that rating. Not messing around with Ryo or Joey's leg there. Executive producer Ghost Bune sent in this photo from their trip to Japan, getting in both read-only Memories games plus the unexpected import exclusive of Freedom Wars. It's also an import exclusive on the Switch. Executive producer D's Nuts sent in a double helping of Culture, collector's editions of Love Delivery and The Medical Examination Diary. I mean, they don't mess around. You pay a lot of money, but you do get bikinis back. Ashura G sent in this photo with the USK logo almost getting out of the way, but poor Joey's foot consumed by the big green monster, although that's the least of that guy's problems. Kevin the Time Geek sent in this photo, getting in Trigger Witch, which is a rather fun twin-stick shooter, a Play Asia exclusive that's definitely worth a punt at a discounted price. Executive producer Vei, my man in Japan, pounced on the discovery of the Jumbo Jet game that I can't remember the full title for because it's ridiculous, and he got in the collector's edition for it as well. And it does make me wonder, what other games have I potentially missed? I'm very thorough with my imports, but there are blind spots, I'm sure of it. Visipon sent in this photo of a game I'm pretty sure one of my executive producers chose as one of their most hyped upcoming Switch games. I cannot remember the name. It doesn't have English, but who needs English when you've got a big shiny box? Alright, let's have a roundup. Alan and Jeannie. Angel Devil. Pabs. Reg. Stefan N. Butter Boulder. Choco Loco James. JB in my knots. Tracy Y. Politico Stefan. Kresalak. Needless Dragon. JRM. McLaren. Mickey McFlynn. Starvey. Alright, please send me your pictures. The instructions are on the screen right now. Pause the video if you want to find out how to do it. Special thanks, as always, to my executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Newstar, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Isa, They, Offphone, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Huswayton Horworth, Wixit, Sora Cat, The Nemo 6, Ghost Bune, G Bautista 100, Rose, Adamantium, Azrith, Jake Vav, Ethan Blue, D's Nuts, Jeddah Crow, Brotorius, Surfacing for Air, and my brand new executive producer, Justin PDC. Thank you so much for your support, plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, leave me a double island emoji in the comments because of this world title bout for Shovelware Island of the Week. Go check out some of my other stuff. I got a lot of stuff out there. Had a lot of videos last week and hopefully a lot of videos this week. I work hard for you guys, and yes, thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.